Hey, RetconRaider here, and welcome to Pathfinder, the Lord of Nothing, the 5th DLC for Pathfinder Wrath of the Righteous, and a direct follow-up to Through the Ashes, which we played a while back, I think, last year. I'll include a link to the playlist in the comments down below for those who haven't watched it. But yeah, this is a direct sequel, which picks up right after the previous one cut off. I will say, we are going into this blind. I just got it. I have not had time to really poke at it much. But I did go back and at least refamiliarize myself with our previous party. So yeah, let's just jump right in. See what the Lord of Nothing has in store. The Lord of Nothing. One of the Frozen Lord's loyal servants managed to find a mortal named Sentry, who is capable of bringing about Sithod's resurrection. That mortal's friends, however, stood in our way, willing to face the most dangerous foes of the Abyss for their kin's sake. Even we dare not predict the outcome of this confrontation. But one thing is certain. Whoever survives it will play a crucial role in our master's fate. Oh, the narrator's evil. Okay, well, noted.
Whose side are you even on? What's going on here?
I'm on our side, of course. Who else's? As for what's going on, I heard the same as you. That scoundrel serves someone called Sithod. No doubt a hideous creature with a name like that. He carries within him a piece of this Sithod's power, and it seems I do too. I don't have a clue what's going on, but everything's relatively clear. All right, enough chit-chat. This villain will come to at any moment and close the portal. Get going. Shoo! Don't you worry about me. I'll be sticking around here.
As I recall, Grimm is a lawful neutral pragmatic sort. So... Sindri, the people in Canabras still need our help. We have no reason to stay here. Come back with us.
No! Remember what happened with the Inquisitors? I understand now. It was my fault. Well, it wasn't exactly my fault, but that rotten scoundrel was after me, and others suffered for it. And the same thing happened in the tavern. That one in the mask won't leave me alone. He'll find me wherever I go, and he'll kill another lot of innocent bystanders in the process.
Sindri shakes his head with such vehemence. It seems it may fly off of his skinny neck at any moment.
We're trying to play the hero? You'll die here for nothing. Can't you come up with a smarter idea? If I were you, I'd go back, round up some of my pals, and set a trap for this creep. Actually, you know what? I don't give a damn. Do what you want. If you were a little bit smarter, you'd stick with us. But if you're just looking to grandstand, have at it. Get frostbite on your ass and die here if it'll make you happy. Come on, let's go home. There's no reason for us to stay here.
Record scratches his cheek and spits on the ground.
That's what I've been telling you. Go! But I'm not running anymore. I'm going to finish this right now. I've made up my mind, and you won't talk me out of it. I swear on my gold earring.
Sindri brings his fist down into his open palm with a decisive smack. Ow. Well, Sindri, I've got to say, you're not really giving us much of a choice here. It's either, help you or don't play the DLC, so... I guess we will play the DLC. Very well. You helped us when we were in need. Whatever's waiting for you here, we'll face it together.
Have you lost your mind? We're in the middle of nowhere, in a blizzard, without hats, gloves, or even a fur coat between us. And now with no way home. You'll live to regret this, mark my words you will. But, even so, thank you. You are true friends. Your words have warmed my heart. Well, since we're all stuck here now, onward. Let's take down that masked madman.
The cultist on the hill raises his arms and lets out a long, rasping noise. The portal has closed. Defeat the masked opponent. Prey who resists is much more entertaining. Let them fight. If the servant is weak, he is of no use to the frozen lord. Thank you, inexplicably evil narrator. I appreciate you updating my journal for me. Anyway. So yes, for those of you who are just joining us, or who just need a refresher since Through the Ashes, here's our party. Grim Caldera, student of stone. Record. Chaotic lawful tiefling rogue. Sendry, our sundry seeker sorcerer. Sir Brown, our rapier-wielding war priest. Kanos, our dour druid drovier. And the goodest of girls, Gaia. Yes, I know it says she's male. I can't change that. And Aiden Dakari, the most overwhelming of souls. The latter three, four technically counting Gaia, of course, are all Raider-submitted characters. I'll also note the art specifically for Aiden Dakari and for Grim Caldera is from Frost Llamzon's fantastic Wrath of the Righteous portrait pack, which you can find over on the Pathfinder Wrath of the Righteous Nexus. Again, I'll include a link for it down below. Now then, my friends, let us gather our party and venture forth.
I know I can help.
Actually, I notice that while some of our buffs are still running from Through the Ashes, the ones on our story-driven characters are not. Sendry notably does not have mage armor running right now, so let's go ahead and amend that. It'll take me a while to remember what all our characters can actually do. The portal is gone. There's no going back. Very well, we will venture in the other direction. But not because you told us to, because we wanted to. Oh. Ah, the sinister masked figure watching us from afar. This is where Through the Ashes left off. Hi. Oh, bye. Hey, why aren't they attacking us? I was all prepared to die and they just stopped. I think the creatures have sensed the shard inside me. They won't touch us, but we still have to deal with the wizard. Oh, crap. Well, off to a good start here. Immediately hit with Ice Storm. Down a third all across the board. And on difficult terrain. Oh boy. Methinks this might be a fight we're not supposed to win, but we will still give it our all. Oh boy. We should maybe try to do some damage control here. Crap, it's been a while since I've played. How do we access our belt? Where is the belt? You know what? I'll just look that up later. I'm sure we'll be fine. I am definitely getting a vibe here that this is one of those scenarios where they're letting us fight the end boss early, just to really hammer in how overpowered he is. Oh, yeah, look at that. This dude's level 12. A level 12 undead sorcerer with fast healing, mage armor, shield, so no magic missiles. And who is inexplicably stacking 2 layers of false life. That, I question the legitimacy of that, but I guess it's far from my main concern here. Oh boy. Yeah, I'm not sure we're actually supposed to win this. But far be it for me to just roll over and get railroaded without a fight. Grease would have been useful, but we're already engaged. No magic missiles. Nope. Oh, okay. Where do you think you're going? Hey, we actually landed a hit. We're on our way.
I got this.
Oh boy, guys. Guys. Gaia. Kanos. Sir Brown, why don't you prop us up? Missed Kanos and Aiden with that, but that's fine. As aforementioned, I suspect it won't really matter in the long run. Oh, yeah. Cool. Cool. Hey, false life down. He bleeds. Oh, nice. Maybe we can actually win this.
Damn you!
Is what I would say if we could land hits. Nice, nice, nice. Really need a better weapon for Kanos. Channel 2. Sentry, go for another snowball? I mean, he's prone, so he's an even tougher target now. Oh, sorry. Sorry, my bad. We'll just park Sentry on the sideline for now. Aw, so he does want to get into a snowball fight. You guys are killing me.
Die!
Hey, okay. I mean, first of all, ow, but also, I am more than happy to suck down a few snowballs if you're going to provoke in the process.
You're not a threat.
Not the cleanest victory, but a win's a win. We will absolutely take it.
Did we really win? Of course we won! When friends work together, no monster can stand before them.
Sentry carefully checks his arms and legs, making sure everything is still where it should be.
Friends? Yeah, right. Friends like these, even monsters will... He's an abomination. He doesn't even have a face. The mask froze right to his skull. Wait, what's this?
A piece of ice, shimmering with a ghostly blue light, rises from the corpse. It trembles in the air as if sensing the presence of mortals. Then slowly aims its sharpest point first at Sentry, then at Record, and finally at you.
This is the same thing I have in my eye. He tried to take mine, and now we're going to be taking on an extra one.
Sentry's eye burns with the same ghostly blue fire. Sentry, what is this?
I'm not sure yet, but...
Sentry purses his lips.
This thing is vile. You've no idea how vile.
But you do then. You're hiding something, mate. Come on, out with it.
Mate?
Remember when that nasty fellow was poking around in my head, and I got to rummage around in his in return? Well, it was scary. Very scary. This piece of ice froze every part of his mind. It's as evil as ice cream that's made from evil instead of milk.
Ah, yes, ice cream. I know it well.
I'm afraid... What if I also become... like him? Ugh.
Sentry shivers. If that's so, then perhaps we should simply destroy it.
That's right. No good ever comes of cultists and their magic. Ugh. Hey. Listen, Icy. Don't even think about it.
Record strikes the ice shard hard with the hilt of his knife, but the blow doesn't even leave a mark. The shard turns its sharpest point towards him, as if preparing to stab itself into his face.
It seems we can't just break it. Now that is a pity.
Well, we obviously can't leave it behind, but... what happens to the one who does take it? Do they gain powers as well?
Uh-huh. Along with a boatload of curses. On the other hand, leave it here, and it'll end up in the hands of another one of these masked weirdos. What a choice. Between the bad, the rotten, and the filthy. All in all, business as usual.
Indeed. And what of you two? I don't suppose either of you are eager to claim this prize. Record and Sentry exchange gloomy glances. It seems nobody wishes to take on this burden. Right, of course. Why make it easy? Though I do notice that our raiders aren't an option, which I guess would be a bit of a cop-out from a plot standpoint, but it does feel like an artificial constraint applied for the purposes of forcing a manufactured drama, having to choose which of our three mains will bear the no doubt negative repercussions of becoming the shard bearer. Record, you're a crusader, are you not? I respect your level-headed and restrained nature. I feel like if anyone could be trusted to wield this thing without giving in to temptation, it would be you.
But of course, who else? Oh, that was nothing. I expected worse.
Record closes a fist around the piece of ice. His face contorts in pain, but he forces himself to smile.
Well, we're done here. Let's stop hanging around and find a way out of this hole.
Agreed. That looked like a Nelfeshny or Ganondorf. You saw it too? Someone's watching us. Ah, our nefarious narrator, no doubt. Oh, wow. Actual loot. That is somewhat unexpected after Through the Ashes. Additional +1 AC when under the effects of mage armor. +2 Ring of Protection. And a +1 Cloak of Resistance. Very nice. The bulk of which I feel will go to our main. Call it Protagonist's Privilege. Honestly, I think even the robes are best used on Grim. It's either him or Sendry. Yeah, 26 AC. I'll take it. We'll just wear it more discreetly. Ooh, what's this? Oh, that must be the shard. Interesting. Also, I'm just now realizing we gained levels. Wow, that was quick. I guess we'll toss the ring to Aiden. He, in theory, is supposed to be our heavy hitter, even though he didn't have much luck during that first fight. And I think we'll stick with the Masterwork Dagger on record for now. He's more of a bow guy anyway. If he's stuck using his dagger, then things have already gone horribly awry. That said, I did not at all prepare for level ups today, but I'll tell you what. I'll tap that quick save button and we'll just run through it with some quick gut decisions. And then you can leave me feedback in the comments down below. I'll go back and change things up if I see any particularly good suggestions. Now, as I recall, Grim Caldera is a pummeling bully student of stone. He picks up an extra monk feat this level, which I believe we are fairly limited on. There's not a lot there that's particularly useful for our build. Oh, yeah. I mean, normally I'd go for crane style, but we've already got pummeling style, and I don't believe you can have multiple styles running simultaneously. Which means it really comes down to one of these other ones. Blind Fight, Deflect Arrows, Elemental Fist, or Improved Initiative. And right off the bat, I'll say I'm not a huge fan of Elemental Fist. It feels like too much setup for too minimal a result. And then as for the other three, Improved Initiative is probably the most practical one. But yeah, let me know what you guys think on that one. I'll roll with it for now. Next up, we've got Record. So let's have a look at that shard. Oh, interesting. It's like a much truncated version of the mythical power system. The one that comes with malices in addition to the boons. Looks like it becomes more potent the more shards you have, but I have to imagine there's negative ramifications for stacking 3 shards on a single story character. Let's see what we've got here. Cold Gaze. 30-foot debuff aura. Concealing Blizzard. Concealment against range attacks. Crystal Claws. Ooh. Bleeding and cold damage on natural weapons or unarmed strikes. I mean, I question the usefulness of cold damage in a place like this, but still. Enfeebling Sneak Attack. Sneak attacks also inflict strength and dexterity damage. Plus extra cold damage, sure. That's a maybe. We'll put a pin on that one. Again, though, I just really question the practicality of cold damage given the scenario. Fragmentation Shot. The tips of your projectiles are coated with ice that splinters on impact. When you damage an enemy with a ranged weapon, it splits into fragments equal to 1 plus shards. Each fragment deals 1d6 per shard to a random enemy within 10 feet. Okay, that sounds pretty good. I notice it does not specify cold damage. And then freezing shot. Your projectiles are enchanted with cold that binds your opponent's limbs. Range attacks deal additional cold damage, but only twice per round. If the enemy's hit dice are equal to or less than your level plus shards, the enemy is frozen in place. Which sounds good on paper, but at the same time, Through the Ashes threw a lot of higher level opponents at us. Frost Edge. Extra cold damage on melee. Ice coating. Temporary hit points every round? Not terrible. Penetrating Hex. Useless to us. Redistributing life. Useless to us. Remorseless Cold. Cold damage cannot be reduced or prevented by immunities or resistances. Also, abilities with a cold inflict additional unholy. Now that is potentially useful, but it also theoretically would require stacking on top of another ability, so minimum 2 shards. And then a basic summon, certainly an option. Plus a wide assortment of higher tier abilities. Interesting. Wow, they are really going all out to try to tempt you to stack shards. Which again really reinforces the idea that doing it is a terrible idea from a narrative standpoint. I think it's a more level-headed, lawful neutral character. I'll encourage spreading them out evenly. Share the burden, rather than piling it all on one increasingly weak link. I think we'll also go ahead and grab Fragmentation Shot. That one sounds pretty solid for a range-based striker. I like that it's one of our few options here that is not beholden to cold damage. That certainly makes it more versatile. And then long-term, I'm thinking Crystal Claws on Grim. And that penetrating cold damage one for Sendry. And back to level ups. We've got Record's more conventional stuff going on. He picks up a new talent. And his second rank of Danger Sense. Skills are skills, goes into the usual rogue stuff. And for rogue talent, as an archer, I think we'll just go combat trick. We'll grab Deadly Aim. And that's it for Record. Next, we've got Sendry, our Sun Tree Sorcerer. No notable abilities, just a new spell. Skills are almost completely pointless since he's outclassed in everything by the rest of our party. We'll just use magic devices. Actually, I guess... yeah, I guess we'll keep his persuasion up as well. Since we now also know that shards reduce persuasion. We'll want to make sure we always have one character who's still good at it. Though I suppose Sir Brown is a good safety net there. And then we've got spells. Oh boy, level 3. There's a lot of tough competition here. I mean, my eye is immediately drawn to haste. But we have a lot of other decent options here. Communal protection from arrows, communal resist energy, communal see invisibility. Slow. Dispel magic. Fireball. The classic Fireball. That does sound like it would be particularly useful in a scenario like this one. We also get a Bloodline spell, right? Ice Storm's 4. I thought... Vengeful Comets. That's new. Vengeful Comets. Personal target, duration 1 round per level until discharged. You conjure a number of miniature comets of ice, up to 1 per 4 caster levels. to orbit around you, granting you a circumstance bonus equal to the number of comments on all savings throws against fire effects. Once per round, when you are affected by a spell cast by an enemy, you fire one of your comets in retaliation. This is a ranged touch attack that deals 1d6 points of bludgeoning damage and 3d6 points of cold, plus 1 point of cold per 2 caster levels. If the spell you're retaliating against had a fire descriptor, you fire 1 additional comet. Okay, that is way too complicated and way too situational. I don't see us ever using that. It actually also gives me pause on Fireball because it makes me wonder if opponents here might have access to Vengeful Comets. So, you know what? We'll just go with Haste. That feels like a nice, safe option. Just gotta get our bearings here. Which brings us to the Raiders. First up, Sir Brown. He picks up a bonus combat feat, which should be pretty straightforward. He's a standard rapier-wielding war priest. Oh, wow. Persuasion's actually higher than I thought. So we don't really have to worry about persuasion after all. For our bonus combat feat, my eye is immediately drawn to weapon spec, which we do need for rapier. That's a no-brainer. Which brings us to Kanos and Gaia. And Kanos picks up Greater Communal Aspect. Very nice. That essentially amounts to an extra 10 movement speed for all our party members. My goodness, look at this mess. And Gaia, the goodest of girls. This is an even-numbered level, so it's all just stat boosts, which are still welcome. Very nice. And then our overwhelming sole remaining party member.
Here we go again.
Indeed, Aiden, indeed. Let's see here. New wild talent. Extra +1 from Overwhelming Soul. And mental prowess. Once per day, he can now reduce the cost of a wild talent by 1. Which I think, as an Overwhelming Soul, is pretty much the only way he can actually use a lot of those wild talents. I will admit, kineticists still befuddle me. They seem very overcomplicated. Jagged Flesh. Reprisal damage versus natural attacks. Meh. Kinetic Restoration. Well, that one's interesting. Heals 1d4 physical attribute damage, and also cures fatigue. That's a maybe. I mean, essentially, I think we'd only be able to use it once per day anyway, given limitations of Overwhelming Soul, but I'd have to double-check how the mechanics all interact there. Or, you know, you guys could crowdsource it for me. And then aside from that, skill bonuses or one of 2 potential feats. Actually, you know what? Given the nature of this scenario, I do feel like Arcana is likely to come up quite often. While, again, it's not the most exciting option, it might be a good idea to just go ahead and stack it. We could take it all the way up to 15 with skill focus. Aside from that, I imagine Great Fortitude might be a good pick. But what the heck, let's go skills. I do enjoy collecting lore. Hopefully that actually ends up being useful, otherwise I'll feel very silly. Alright, let's get new spells slotted. I think it's just Brown and Kanos. Yes. So 1 level 2 slot for Brown. What is this? Bone Fists. Necromancy. All allies within 30 feet. Duration 1 minute per level. The bones of your target's joints grow thick and sharp, protruding painfully through the skin at the knuckles, elbows, shoulders, spine, and knees. The targets each gain +1 bonus to natural armor and a +2 bonus on damage rolls with natural weapons. And they deal an additional 1d6 points of piercing damage on successful grapple. Would that apply to unarmed attacks? I mean, in theory, everyone would benefit from the armor boost, but the extra damage would be nice. Gaia would definitely get it. I'm just wondering if Grim would also enjoy it. Level 2 slot for Kanos, who also has access to Bone Fists. Let me just skim for other new spells real quick. Oh, here we go. Winter's Grasp. Conjuration. All creatures within a 20-foot burst centered on target point within medium range. Ice encrusts the ground, radiating supernatural cold and making it hard for creatures to maintain their balance. This icy ground is treated as difficult terrain. When the spell is cast and every round after that, creatures in the area must make successful reflex saves or fall prone. Creatures in the area take 1d6 points of cold damage each round, and suffer a -2 penalty on savings throws against spells with a cold descriptor until they leave the area. Interesting. So like a cold-themed grease spell. That's actually pretty cool. Though not necessarily something Kanos needs. He's already kind of stacked with entangle spells. Was that an option for Sentry? I mean, I'm still happy with haste. It's just another tactical option to look into. Alright, so for his level 2 slot, let's double up on Bone Fists. And then for level 3, we've got Communal Delay and Greater Magic Fang. Both solid picks. Ooh, what's this? Fungal Infestation. 1 creature within close range. You coat the target in necrotic fungus that makes its flesh soft and fragile. The target takes 1d3 points of charisma damage. Any physical attack against the target automatically adds 1d6 points of bleed damage. If the target dies while under the effect, all creatures within 15 feet of the target take 1d8 negative energy damage per 2 caster levels, maximum 10d8, and must succeed at a fortitude save or themselves gain the effects of the original fungal infestation spell. My goodness, that's kind of horrifying. I also see Vengeful Comets. I'm not really a fan of that one either. You know what, we'll just keep this simple. We got hit with an ice storm right out the gate, so let's grab Mass Feather Step. Not normally a spell I'd really bother with much, but given the scenario, I think it makes sense. It's either that or Communal Resist Cold. The duration on Mass Feather Step is more forgiving. We'll roll with that one first. And level up complete.
Battles await.
I'll get the hotbars cleaned up between episodes. For now, let's just do some quick damage control, and then we'll get back to adventuring.
No time for standing around.
All right, my friends, let us continue. That first fight definitely wore us down, but we're still in halfway decent shape.
Ha! A trivial task.
Frost and Bones. Who rules over this sinister corner of the abyss? I assume Sithud, unless he's too busy being dead. I'm never really quite sure how much of an inconvenience being dead is to your average Demon Lord. They do seem to get over it pretty quick. Okay, so wait, where are we headed? That's where we fought the masked figure. This is where we came from. Oh, wait. The blocks of ice form jagged shapes that look unnatural and terrifying. Okay, so we do have new stuff over here. We have an access point to the ancient vein now, but yeah, this is definitely the way we came in, right? Yes, that's where the closed portal was. Okay, so I guess we had to backtrack. That's kind of counterintuitive. Hey, bud. What's up? Do you want us to follow you, or... Well, we've got stuff here, so I guess we'll check it out. Ice-coated page. Let's give that a quick gander. It is still difficult to believe the Frozen Lord was defeated, but there can be no doubt. I and other disciples of Sithhood have lost all protection. Never before has the cold felt so sharp or so merciless. Our enemies, the servants of Kostis, endure the cold much better. No wonder, then, that so many abandoned our fallen master and sided with his killer. We are on the run from our former comrades. One of the neophytes froze to death. I carved runes into his body until my fingers grew numb, and it was barely enough to hide from the sorcerous blizzard. Maybe we should take the body with us? Supplies are running low. Oh my. I'd feel bad for you if you weren't cultist scum. An uncanny place. Just like our goal. Oh, it makes me feel cold inside just looking at it. A sure sign we're on the right path. Is it? Also 1500 XP. I guess that is a good sign we're on the right path. Attack.
This will be quick.
Nice. Okay, we grabbed surprise. That gives us a chance to get this under control. Wights are level drainers. We definitely don't want to deal with that if we don't have to. No clean charge paths. We'll just prep for when this guy gets up. Oh, shoot. Reactive frost damage. That's cold. Man, now I kind of wish I'd given that first shard to Grim. Not necessarily for the claws, but for that innate cold resistance. And focus fire on the left.
It's you or me.
Are you still here?
Right. I need to turn off bowling on opening round. Gotta remember that. Wow, Sentry. Buddy, I'm really gonna need you to step it up here. Nice. White out. Let's lock these two down before they disentangle. Let's get Grim patched. He's his own worst enemy right now. Where is... There it is. Okay, gotcha. Sorry, it's been a while.
Let's hear you cry.
Nice tag. Nice dodge. Oh, come on. Gosh darn it. Okay, the fragments do inflict cold damage. I might have to go back and consider some other abilities instead. Thank you, Aiden. This one's up next. Oh, interesting. Okay. That was a goofy move, but I will absolutely take it. AI must have prioritized Grim because of his low health. The lines in the ice make the symbol of Sithud, a long-forgotten demon lord. And we are now at time, but I'm into it. Let's push one more room.
I'm losing my temper.
It's not that I don't want to play more, it's just that I have to keep in mind, you know, the editing and the processing time, all the less fun aspects of making these videos. It's like an hour of work for every 10 minutes of actual gameplay.
It's done.
Oh ho, more loot. A +1 tower shield that none of us are actually built to use. And a magic Falcata. A flaming +2 Falcata. Come on. I mean, yeah, that would be fantastically useful if we had a character who actually used Falcatas. Alright, well, what else we got? Scrolls, potion, and another ice-coated page. Not as exciting as an actual magic item, but at least it's stuff we can actually use. I said it was better to be a cannibal than dead. The fools fought over the last crumbs like a pack of mindless rats. Such companions are nothing but a burden. I finished off the survivors so I could decorate Sithud's lair with their bones. I am the only one who remained sane, so I took the rest of the equipment and supplies. I cannot take everything with me. I should hide some of it to keep it safe from the servants of Kostichi. Kostichi. Koshi? Like Koshi the Deathless, maybe? I'm gonna have to figure out a pronunciation for that guy because I am fairly certain he's the one in charge of this place right now. But I guess we'll see. I'll also have to refresh my memory on our current stockpile of consumables. since it does seem like we'll have to lean on those a lot more heavily than we do in the main campaign. That said, we found temporary shelter, so this feels like a good place to call it. We'll hit the pause button for now. I will take care of the off-screen bookkeeping, and we will pick up here next time as we continue our epic journey through the frozen waste in search of the nearest cold stone. See you then. Oh, and special thanks to the Raiders, the fine folks who help make these videos possible, including but not limited to Revenant, Alois, CrowkingLoR, Dragon Matrix 7, Drakiith, V23, EgonAlter, Exsellsior, Gottlieb, James Trimmier, Kazorm, Mark Giemza, Nathan Welch Jr., OverlordPherom, RandomPassrby, RobbyB, Tomasz, Piątkowski, Triphoppenskip, and Valinrook. Thanks for your support, guys. That said, if you'd also like to help support the channel, then feel free to push the buttons that do the things, or you could even check out the PayPal, the Patreon, the Nexus GG, or the YouTube memberships. Links are in the description.
Oh, that was nothing. I expected worse.